Good evening, and here we are again with another update for these Tesla 2020 700 strike calls. I've added in this week several times, got my average down to just under 220, so I'm almost at break even. I think they actually almost went flat on Friday. You can see my notes here, added 180. Noticed a big position here at 165. I wanted to add into these at 150 on this day. I told the trade crew guys I was looking to add at 180 and 150, and these actually went down as low as 155. Someone got a fill down there, got really lucky, and they're back up over $2 a contract today, midday on Friday. So looking like I'm still going to have some potential profits in this trade. We've now filled this gap. Now the question becomes to me, is there enough buying pressure to push it up to at least the 8 EMA, which right now is 307.70, 308. Price action is going to at least go flat for the time being. It looks like it's just going to chop around. This 8 EMA is going to come down probably to around this level right here, around 305 tomorrow, excuse me, on Monday. And at that point, I will look to actually reduce some size in this just to lock in some profits. I mean, another $8 pop should at least get me some green on some of these calls. That way I can get out of some of them. My average gets reduced just a little bit, and any dip further on, I can go ahead and buy some more and be comfortable with it. So plenty of time in these calls. That's why I chose these two trade. Excuse me. Even though they've lost a lot of their value in the grand scheme of things, there's still so much time left on them. There's really no reason to be afraid of buying them. Should be able to get out at some point for some profit, and worst case scenario break even. So still trading those 700 calls. Over here on the weekly time frame, we did put in a long lower wick, which usually happens afterwards with Tesla. We do kind of get a little bit of a bounce. I mean, you can go back and look at some of these longer wicks. Here, nice bounce. Here, nice bounce. Even over here, nice bounce. I mean, all these lower wicks imply that there was support at lows. So as long as price action doesn't close at lows for the week, I'm really not afraid of what's going to happen. There's been a lot of negativity in the news as far as what's going on with Tesla. The workforce cut, yet production increase. So those two things benefit businesses. I mean, if you're making a product and you're able to cut your workforce and increase production at the same time, it tells me something about the efficiencies, excuse me, of that market or that business are improving, and thus should equate into better financials. So we'll see what happens going forward. I think the bears just really hit that time frame where it's kind of a quiet period for Tesla, so they're not allowed to release any kind of information, and the bears really have it timed out fairly well. So they were getting smashed from here, this 250 move up to 380. A lot of them probably got caught, trapped on the highs, and they're finally catching a break. So Tesla is a very, very large swing stock, and for me, I have no problem with stomaching some of this volatility and going ahead and chasing these $700 calls. I don't think they're going to go in the money, obviously. I mean, that's 2.5 times what price is actually trading at right now. Now, if there's some huge development in Tesla, yeah, sure, it could possibly go up there. I mean, you do have stocks trading over $1,000 a share, but they're in completely different businesses. So don't think they're going to go in the money, so please don't get me confused with being that bullish on the stock that it actually goes over $700 a share. I mean, if it does, I'm not, I'll take it. I'm not going to, pass up an opportunity like that. But I'm just using these as a trading vehicle to go ahead and capture some of these moves up. Now, weekly, as I said, there's a long lower wick. The month is just a big wide indecision bar, so really not a whole lot going on at the time being. Daily time frame looks like we've created a base, nice bullish, what's that, a kicking pattern I believe, where you've retraced more than half of that move up, filled the gap, and you're probably going to come up here to this 80 EMA. So looking at this as a potential island bottom, something similar to this over here, and it's probably happened several other times like right here. So right now, that's what I'm looking at for Tesla, still holding strong on these 700 calls. If it dips further, I will look to add into it a little bit more, but I do want to go ahead and try and reduce some size in this as soon as possible, just to lock in some green and not to be overextended in this one trade. So right now, that's my trade plan for the 700 calls. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Have a good weekend and good luck on